Okay, this ProWorkFlow training is to show you the how to create a task template from an existing project. So here's the deal. Sometimes you're doing a project for a client that you've never done before. Um, and you figure out, you know what, there's probably going to be other people that are going to want this. So let's create a task template from it. Here's the important thing to remember here is number one, you've got to finish the project. You've got to have it, it's got to be like at the end of the project, right? So you've got to do it once fully. Then you have to come and edit the task, all the tasks that you did along the whole entire project. Well, let me back up a little bit. First of all, you got to make sure that you actually put all the tasks in, because sometimes, sometimes you're doing a project and then you put two tasks in one, or you kind of bypass one of the tasks and you weren't really as meticulous as possible, and so you kind of put in a task, that that shouldn't have been there or should have been there. So you've got to really kind of dissect what went on here and make sure that the project is ready to be turned into a task. So I'll go ahead and get started. First of all, in this particular one, right, um, right at the top, I'm just going to go ahead and add like 10 tasks because I just know already 10 blank things, because I just know already there's just stuff that's missing. At the Creative Complex, for example, right, we always have in our projects, we always start with this sort of preparation phase, right? This time in which we are just reminding ourselves of things that should be there, that aren't. So let's call it project updates, okay? And we'll make this a bold, no, not bold, sorry, a heading, because we're gonna put some stuff under it. For example, we love to update our clients. So we just got a client update task, a project manager update, maybe because it's something we want to communicate to the entire team. And then we'll put invoice, okay? And we'll leave a blank task. All right, cool. Next thing is, what happened next? What was the main thing that happened next? And we kind of want to break down our entire process here. So what I'm seeing here is that um, website backups is sort of a heading, and there are some backup things that um, need to happen. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a heading. Maybe it's normal. Let's go ahead and call this, well, let's call it maintenance task. Let's just, for the purpose of speeding along here, right? Website backups, software updates, checking for broken links, site speed. All of these are sort of things that need to happen, within website security, site speed. Let's see, site speed, search engine, analytics is good, spam, functionality, um, social media sharing was checked. So the website security check was done, testing of all updates and maintenance, right? Because that's sort of at the end. And then here we start to see um, what's called these these are client updates, because when we're doing maintenance on a website, um, there are times where we are allowing the client to tell us, hey, what other changes do you want on the site, right? Things that aren't, these are common changes, and then these are sort of, so we want to remind the client, right, to let us know. And this is sort of, I would think it's up here, where we're kind of getting um, design updates, and then develop updates. So all right, so these are client requests. Okay, so we want to request it right at the beginning. We want to get from the client to tell us, hey, what things do you want? Same thing with development updates. All right, cool. And then there's all these maintenance tasks that are definitely always for the you know. So here is where you would actually put all of the design and development updates for the client. So what I would do is um, see, notice client portal fix and client portal fix are all actually, you see, we already had a task here. So let me actually just put like 5 blank tasks here. See, and again, because you're creating a template for this, you want to be careful. I'll show you on the next step that this particular thing was specific for this client. So on the template, clearly you're not going to want this task and this task logo. So we'll clear that up on when I show you next what to do. So these are just blank because as the client requests them, you're gonna list them here. Okay. Um, and then so this is cool. This particular thing was actually supposed to be right client updates, and make this to remove the date on that. Make this a heading. Okay, so let's change this back to just being normal. Okay, this is just normal. We'll give that, to that. Um, Actually, let's move it down here because there are some end of project um, things that need to happen, right? Like add the invoice. So we'll call this for internal use, okay? And so we got some stuff there, and you know what? Let's give ourselves a couple more blank tasks down here so we can. So because again, things are unpredictable, and we just want some blank tasks. I always love blank tasks. So for internal use should also be bold. Okay, so things are looking good here. I've got um, you know initial project kind of stuff that's standard. I got my client requests, so I'm reminding myself to send an email to the client always. I got maintenance tasks. I forgot to bold that. I'm sorry, headline that, right? So boom, I've got all my maintenance tasks. I got client updates, so I'm ready to receive client updates. I got for internal use stuff. Boom. Now I'm done. Okay. Now remember, I'm at this point, I'm still editing an active project, but I'm editing it at the end. Okay, we're at the end of this project. Okay, notice I forgot here to make this. This is a heading. This is bold. So I made a mistake. I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna make this a heading. Boom. I'm gonna click done. Okay, I want to make sure it looks good for my next time that I do this. Okay, did I get okay? Great. Boom. Maintenance tasks look beautiful. I've got exactly what each thing should do. I'm ready to receive client updates. I'm ready up for internal use. I forgot to make that one a heading as well. So I'm gonna come back in here, edit, make this a heading. All right, come back, click done. Okay, coming down, boom, left myself some wiggle room here of some tasks. So I think I'm ready actually to create an official task template. So here's where I'm going, settings, task template. All right, so I'm gonna add a new template, but don't click on add a new template because you're actually basing it on an existing template, okay? Or you're basing it off of an active project. Right now, this training is creating a task template based off of an active project or an inactive project because um, let's say you already completed the project, you're going to have to uncomplete the project. So you're going to have to make it active again in order to achieve this because you can't build a template off of an inactive project. It's got to be off of active. So sometimes you've got to revive a project to make the template, and then you actually got to complete it again. So this is based off of an active or inactive project, but we've made the inactive project active. So where is this project? I'm gonna go ahead and find it somewhere in this mess of current projects. Here, no, it's not there. Let's see. All right, I'm remembering that this particular task was 3568. So I'm looking here, 3568. I'm gonna go down. This particular project was project 3568. It's right here. That helps me knowing the project number helps. So boom, it's working, right? And look at this. At the first, let's start with the title. This is always going to be called website maintenance. Okay. Um, let's put it. The order is in the order in which it appears when you're choosing a template. I like to put stuff that I'm going to do common. I'll put it in the 100s, but stuff that's not crazy common, I'll put it in the 200s. Um, so uh, the next thing to do is just to review this, right? It looks beautiful. Looks like everything that we talked about. Remember this though? This was, I'm going to delete these because this was particular to that project. I'm going to make sure there's no description in there and remove the people assigned to that particular task. Okay, make sure no one's assigned to it. Now, if I always know someone is going to be involved in this, I can go ahead and assign them. If I already know there's a certain date to all of these things, I can already assign dates to it. I usually refrain from that simply because I've gotten beat up. I've gotten beat up in the past where I'm like, yeah, this starts the next day and this is the next day, but it's just not always like that unless you're just really super solid. Like invoicing is always done by a certain person. Fine, cool. You know what I mean? You put that up, to make sure it's done. But usually I just leave it all blank, and then the project manager goes in and does what they need to do. So that's it. We're ready to rock and roll. I'm going to click done here. Of course, if I figure out that I made a mistake and oh my goodness, I forgot to add something, well, then that's the training, the other training that I've done, which is how to edit a current task template. but let's go ahead and make sure that we look good here. I've got so many templates. Website maintenance is here. I'm gonna go ahead and open that up. Looks good. All right, look here. I'm seeing these were assigned to someone in the previous template, and I want to remove that because I don't want that person to receive a whole ton of things. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna select all. I'm gonna remove users. I'm gonna select all the users. I'm gonna click done, okay, and then I'm gonna click done, right? I don't want anybody assigned to it. That's why it's important for you to go and find the task template that you just did as a final step and just look at it, okay? Boom, I see no one's been assigned. It looks beautiful, it looks perfect. If I figure something out here, I just click edit, but everything looks good. Okay, remember when I told you I put the 200, the number 200 in the order? This is where it landed it down here. If it's a very common task template that always gets used, I might put it in the 100s so that it appears somewhere over here. So that when I am creating a new project and I'm going and looking at the task template, that it's not all the way down here, but that it appears somewhere over here. So let's see, website maintenance is right here. Okay, so that's how you create a task template from an active project.